by forever 30-minute public preacher speaker. Live life fully while you're here. Experience everything. Take care of yourself and your friends. Have fun, be crazy, be weird. Go out and screw up. You're going to anyway, so you might as well enjoy the process. Take the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. Find the cause of your problem and eliminate it. Don't try to be perfect. Just be an excellent example of being human.
That's what people say. That's what people say. But no one ever knows what's nice in the moment. That's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. They never really know.
I've come to believe that all my past failure and frustration were actually laying in the foundation for the understands that have created a new level of live that I now enjoy. When you are grateful, fear disappears and abundance appears. Every problem is a gift. Without problems, we would not grow. If you do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. It's not what we do once in a while that shapes your life. It's what we do consistently. The path to success is to take massive, determined action. It is your decisions and not your conditions that determine your destiny. In essence, if we want to direct our lives, we must take control of our consistent actions. It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives. Rhymes.
That's what people say. That's what people say. But no one ever knows what's nice in the moment. That's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. They never really know.
You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. Other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. The graveyard is the richest place on earth because it is here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid to take the first step, keep with the problem, or determined to carry out their dream. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to get great. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living in fears. Life has no limitation except the ones you make. Most fail in life not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and hit. If you take responsibility for yourself, you will develop a hunger to accomplish your dreams. The greatest revenge is massive success. Live out your imagination instead of out your memory.
That's what people say. That's what people say. But no one ever knows what's nice in the moment. That's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. They never really know.
Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. I have decided to stick to love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Faith is taking the first step, even when you can't see the whole staircase. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. But I know somehow that only when it is dark enough to see you see the stars. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it's right. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy.
That's what people say. That's what people say. But no one ever knows what's nice in the moment. That's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. They never really know.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Pain is temporary. It may last for a minute or an hour or a day. or even a year, but eventually it will subside and something else takes place if I quit. However, it will last forever. Don't think about what can happen in a month. Don't think about what can happen in a year. Just focus on the 24 hours in front of you and do what you can to get closer to where you want to be. If you can look up, you can get up. I use pain to push me to greatness. Some people want it to happen. Some people wish it would happen. Others make it happen. It's not easy, but it's simple. The only way to get out of mediocrity is to keep shooting for excellence. You can get through this. You can get through this. You are bigger than your pain. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give in. I wanted to surround myself with the kind of people who could help me turn my life around. People whom I could rub up against like iron and be sharpened. Don't make a habit out of choosing what feels good over what's actually good for you. Your relationships will either make you or break you, and there is no such thing as a neutral relationship. People either inspire you to greatness or pull you down in the gutter. It's that simple. Don't one fails alone and no one succeeds alone. Well, there I go. If the future was uncertain, absolutely, and there was many hurdles, twists, and turns to come, but as long as I keep moving forward, one foot in front of the other, the voices of fear and shame, the messages from those who wanted me to believe I wasn't good enough, would be stilled. Others made me question your credentials, your papers, your degrees. I remain look for all kinds of ways to diminish your worth, but what is inside you, no one can take from you or tarnish. This is your worth, who you really are, your degree that you can go with wherever. That can go with you wherever you go. Whoa.
She was all I got before. All these days, all these nights, everywhere that I go, she's all that I think of. She's stuck in my head, but she's out of my life. Can't believe that she's gone. Do I go insane? Does she feel the same? The one that I live for. She's all that I think of.
Success is buried on the other side of rejection. How am I going to live today to create the tomorrow I've committed to? Success is doing what you want to do, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, as much as you want. You can hit a target if you don't know what it is. If you don't set a baseline standard for what you'll accept in life, you'll find it's easy to slip into behaviors and attitudes or a quality of life that's far below what you deserve. Enjoy making decisions. You must know that in any moment a decision you make can change the course of your life forever and ever and ever and ever. The next person you stand behind in line or sit next to on the airplane, the very next phone call you make or receive, the very next movie you see or book you read or page you turn could be the one single thing that causes the floodgates to open, wrapping and hoping.
She's stuck in my head, but she's out of my life. Can't believe that she's gone. Do I go insane? Does she feel the same? The one that I live for. She's all that I think of.
Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living out fears. Things may happen around you and things may happen to you, but the only things that really count, hacking rhymes, I'm out, are the things that will happen in you. I would rather fail in what I love than succeed at what I hate. Don't let someone's opinion of you become your reality. When life knocks you down, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. You cannot expect to achieve new goals or move beyond your present circumstances unless you change. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Rappers, beware. We're in for a scare. You better despair. People fail to get along because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because they have not communicated with each other. One has a moral responsibility to disobey unjust laws. No person has the right to reign on your dreams. A nation that continues year after year to spend more money on military defense than on programs of social uplift is approaching spiritual doom. Kaboom! Wars are poor chisels for carving out peaceful tomorrows. Not only will we have to repent for the sins of bad people, but we also will have to repent for the appalling silence of good people. The time is always right to do the right thing. Life's most important, persistent, and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? You can beat no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. If I cannot do things, I cannot do small things in a great way. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Or some positions, cowardice asked the question, is it expedient? And then expedience comes along and asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? Conscience asks the question, is it right? There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe nor politic nor popular, but he must do it because conscience tells him he is right. Hatred paralyzes life, love releases it. Hatred confuses life, love harmonizes it. Hatred, darkness, life, love illuminates it. The choice is not between violence and non-violence, but between non-violence and non-existence. Spit and I spat it, I spit it. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. The first question which the priest and the Levite asked was, if I stop to help this man, what will happen to me before the Good Samaritan reserved the question, if I do not stop to help this person, what will happen to him? A rhythm, a anthem, a spit him, a spat him, a spit him, a rhythm, a anthem, a spat him, or and a spit him, a spat him, a wham bam, a spat him, a spit him, ram bam, a thank you, a man. There's a spitting again. Identify your challenge area. Describe the thoughts that you commonly have in that area. Describe the things that you commonly say concerning that area in your life. This can be things that you say to other people or things that you say to yourself. Describe your behavior in that area. Use action words. Challenge area. Rapping binaria. Rapping ba 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 ba. And I hope you know. Well, there I go. You're not enough. Not enough. If anybody asks you who you are, tell them you are a child of God. That message translated in such a way that you would never call yourself a slave or tell anyone that you were a child of slaves or that you belong to a slave owner. As a child of God, you are not a mistake or a product of lust or rape, but you are meant to be here to learn, love, and be loved. Your external circumstances are impossible to change when you lack the capacity to imagine possibilities that you may not be right in front of you yet. As children, very few of us have the capacity to themes, fend off the mean, and negate in comments, even the ones that are made without malice. Or work as adults is to make the choice to not pass those words onto our kids and to reject cruel or unthinking remarks about ourselves, to flick them off our shoulders like dandruff. Up. It's okay to fail. It's not okay to quit. Now I know a lot of us would rather skip over whatever happened back in the day because it's painful or obsolete, as some would say, because there's nothing to do to change it other than to let it go or get over it, under and over it. But if we do that, we risk losing our knowledge of what really makes us happy, the pure essence of joy that we knew as children. And if we don't take the time to reclaim the dreams that we may have left back there in the thorny and golden past, we will be poorer for it. Only by acknowledging, hey, there is where I am, and I'm here because I steered my horse here. Can I come to the next choice to ride on out to the sunset where I'd really like to be, or is the question. Remember, we're drowning in information, but we're starving for wisdom. For most people, the fear of loss is much greater than the desire for gain. Remember, we're drowning in information, but we're starving in wisdom. If you're prepared and you know what it takes, it's not a risk you have. You just have to figure out how to get there. There's always a way to get there. Remember, we all get what we tolerate, so stop tolerating excuses within yourself, limited beliefs of the past, or half-assed or fearful states. Use your body as a tool to snap yourself into a place of sheer will, determination, and commitment. Face your challenges head on with a core belief that problems are just speed bumps on the road to your dreams. And from that place, when you take massive action with your effective and proven strategy, you will rewrite your history. Indeed, never gonna dance again. These broken feet just ain't got no rhythm. I know it's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. Never gonna dance again. By free methods we may learn wisdom. First by reflection, which is noblest. Second by imitation, which is easiest. And third by experience, which is the bitterest. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart from the start. He who knows all the answers has not been asked all the questions. But life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. If you make a mistake and do not correct it, this is called a mistake. Study the past if you would define the future. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. The funniest people are the saddest ones. To be wrong is nothing unless you continue to remember it. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. Been endless rhymes from a bar. I'm drinking at a bar from a bar. He who defends everything defends nothing. Books make up no small part of human happiness. The greatest and noblest pleasure which man can have in this world is to discover new truths, and the next is to shake off old prejudices. A crown is merely a hat that lets it rain in. Diplomacy without arms is like concert without a score. Nowadays it is seen as a shame to marry a girl who is a mother, who has never been married. I want to get rid of that prejudice. He who cannot stand misfortune does not deserve good fortune. The more I see of men, the better I like my dog. It has been said by a certain general that the first object in the establishment of an army ought to be making provision for the belly, that being the basis of and foundation of all operations. We are made for action, and activity is the sovereign, a remedy for all physical ills. Diplomacy without arms is like music without instruments. As to your Newton, I confess I do not understand his void, and his gravity I admit he has demonstrated a movement of the heavenly bodies with more exactitude than his forerunners, but you will admit it is absurdity to maintain the existence of nothing. If I wished to punish a province, I would have it governed by philosophers. Rhyming a bubba. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. Courage is having the strength to go on. It is on when you don't have the strength. In politics, stupidity is not a handicap. Religion is excellent stuff for keeping common people quiet. Religion is what keeps the poor from murdering the rich. Show me a family of readers and I will show you the people who move the world. History is a set of lies agreed upon. Imagination governs the world. If you want a thing done well, do it yourself. Nothing is more difficult and therefore more precious than to be able to decide. History is written by the winners. Take time to deliberate, but when the time for action comes, stop thinking and go win. Impossible is a word to be found only in the dictionary of fools. A leader is a dealer of hope. If I had to choose a religion, the son, the universal giver of life would be my God. However many holy words you read, however many you speak, what God will they do if you do not act upon them? There is nothing more dreadful than the habit of doubt. Doubt separates people. It is a poison that disintegrates friendships and makes and breaks up pleasant relations. It is a thorn that irritates and hurts. It is a sword that kills. No one saves us but ourselves. No one can know one and many may. We ourselves may. We walk the path. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. Is founded on our thoughts and made up of our thoughts. If a man speak or act with an evil thought, suffering follows him as wheel follows the hoof of the beast that draws the wagon. If a man speak or act with a good thought, happiness follows him like a shadow that never leaves. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe anything simply because it is found and written in your religious books. Do not believe in anything merely on the authority of your teachers and elders. Do not believe in traditions because they have been handed down for many generations, but after observation and analysis, when you find that anything agrees with reason and is conducive to the good and benefit of one and all, then accept it, live up to it. Free things can hide for long, but moon, the sun, the truth spit into you. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You're the only one who gets burned. Doubt everything, find your own light. Rhyme, all day and all night. It is more shameful to distrust our friends than to be deceived by them. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. And remember, no matter where you go, there you are. If what one has to say is better than silence, then one should keep silent. Hold faithfulness and sincerity as first principles. To be wealthy and honored in an unjust society is disgrace. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. To put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must first put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must first cultivate our personal life. We must first let our hearts be right. Ram, off the walls of my mind. Echoing infinite rhymes. There it goes inside of my mind all day and all night. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust to goals, adjust to action steps. Rap. I am worthwhile and talented, and I deserve my goals. It's never over until you win. But then.
My reflection is a clothing empty shell. Oh, I used to be somebody with a vision. Now I'm only just a shadow of myself. A shadow of myself.
It's not over until you win. What could you do to make a difference in the world? I must commit myself to beginning each day by concentrating on positive thoughts and focusing my goals. That which you are looking for, you're living with. To waste another minute dealing with a toxic, negative, energy draining person. Some people are wired for negativity. They love being argumentative, combative, and abusive. Run for your life as quickly as possible. Shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you'll land among the stars, bitten from afar. Help others achieve their dreams, and you will achieve yours. There are no winners. There are winners, there are losers, and there are people who have not yet learned how to win. But then many times people back away from things they want to do, from the dreams that they have nurtured. It is possible for me to live my dreams. Fear does not have any special power unless you empower it by submitting to it. Love yourself unconditionally, just as you love those closest to you despite their faults. Shoot for the moon. The worst that could happen is you land amongst the stars. Dark, from afar. Never gonna dance again. Can't believe you were the one to build me up and break me down. An individual who breaks the law that conscience tells him is unjust, and who willingly accepts the penalty of imprisonment in order to arouse the conscience of the community over its injustices, in reality expressing the highest respect for the law. But the fault in you all. Of all the forms of inequality, injustice in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane. The greatest perv of violence in the world, my own government. I cannot be silent. A true revolution of values will soon cause us to question the fairness and justice of many of our past and present policies. A true revolution of values will soon look uneasily on the glaring contrast of poverty and wealth. With righteous indignation, it will look across the seas and see individual capitalists of the West invest in huge sums of money in Asia, Africa, and South America, only to take the profits out with no concern for the social betterment of the countries and say, away, this is not just it. Will look at our alliance with the landed gentry of South America and say, this is not just a Western arrogance of the feeling that has everything to teach others and nothing to learn from them is not just. We have flown the air like birds and swum the sea like fishes, but have yet to learn the simple act of walking the earth like brothers, rapper forever and ever.
You're scared now, motherfucker. Me no tough. We can make a tough blow. Ain't backing down, just so you know. Push up the shove, I hold my own.
We have flown the air like birds and swum the sea like fishes, but have yet learned the simple act of walking the earth like brothers, rapper forever.
I could use a shooting star. Wish I could tear these walls apart. Heaven feels a million miles too far. Oh, I could use a shooting star.
Never tell your enemy he is doing the wrong thing. The surest way to remain poor is to be honest. History is the version of past events that people have decided to agree upon. To understand the man, you have to know what has happened and was happening in the world when he was 20. The hand that gives is among the hand that takes. Money has no fatherland. Financiers are without patriotism and without decency. Their sole object is to gain. Great men are meteors designed to burn so that earth may be lighted. A true man hates no one. Religion is what keeps the poor from murdering the rich. Glory is fleeting, but obscurity is forever. Rapper forever and ever just keeps getting better. Forever and ever just keeps getting better. The cruel man is a misanthropic, temperament, and is a man of moods, escalating from quiet brooding to sudden explosions. If a man like this does not fight this unhappy provision of his soul during his youth, under no circumstances could be avoid becoming furious and foolish. There are those who will leave it up to God, but to ensure justice on the earth and not bob it off to the divinity. It is mandatory that people know both virtue and its benefits, since the virtues lead to unity among them, not the war of all against all. Therefore, it is absolutely necessary to conserve them and show that crime can only return misfortunes and destruction, including of the criminal himself, who is the last victim of his crimes. It is true that the Christian religion, when supporting itself only by arguments, was both weak and oppressed, and that it extended over Europe only after having spread much blood. It is not less true that one who has the power to change the course of events is also able to introduce his opinions and innovations with little sorrow. How many religions, how many sects were introduced both easily and loosely? There is nothing that works better than fanaticism to push innovations, and it seems to me that Machiavelli uses a tone when discussing this matter that is too decisive, rhyming obsessive. Confucius said, courtesy, generosity, honesty, persistence, and kindness. If you are courteous, you will not be disrespected. If you are generous, you will not gain everything. If you are honest, people will rely on you. If you are persistent, you will get results. If you are kind, you can employ people. Have no friends not equal to yourself. Raps on the shelf. Never give a sword to a man who can't dance. If you are the smartest person in the room, then you are in the wrong room. The noble-minded are calm and steady. Little people are forever fussing and fretting. The nobler sort of man emphasizes the good qualities in others and does not accentuate the bad that the inferior does. The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell. Raps in hell will sell in hell. The superior man understands what is right. The inferior man understands what will sell. Roads are made for journeys, not destinations. The master said, if your conduct is determined solely by considerations of profit, you will arouse great resentment. The master said, a true teacher is one who, keeping the past alive, is also able to understand the present. Worry not that no one knows you. Seek to be worth knowing. A common man marvels at uncommon things. A wise man marvels at the commonplace. The way it goes today. If there is righteousness in the heart, there will be beauty in the character. If there is beauty in the character, there will be harmony in the home. If there is harmony in the home, there will be order in the nations. When there is order in the nations, there will be peace in the world. It spins and it swirls and it whirls and it twirls. By forever, by infinite forever, 30 minute. By forever, by infinite forever, 30 minute. Preacher, public speaker.